Hi all, Cass here from Get Fit, Get Healthy with Cass, and I'm going to do my intro here at Katajini Park, which is where I hold my Pilates classes now. So at the moment, I only do a Wednesday and Friday 6 a.m. class and a Sunday 8 a.m. class. And I do have people interested in the 5:30 Thursday, but at the moment it's just not enough interest to be able to put it back on the calendar. So if you want to come at that time, let me know and I will sort you out. But that's not what we're here to talk about. So I'm just going to do my intro here because I've just finished a class and I have a full house at home, so why not? It's also like ridiculously, really horrible weather outside. So I'm just waiting for it to clear up a little bit. But so this vlog has 2 weeks worth of stuff in, because realistically at this end of the game we are I'm just going to turn around so you can see what the weather is like out here. It's about to start bucketing down. And I'm not walking out in that just yet. I do have a jacket, but no thanks. Yeah, so at this pointy end of the stick, it's really just cardio and weights and food prepping and working, and there's really no any time for anything. And it was the end of semester for work, so there was no chance of being 5 or 10 minutes late. So getting out putting the camera out just became, it's just too much. So yeah, there's not really much going on. Although I say that, I did have a little bit of something with my coach where he, we're 2 weeks out and you kind of not really the right time to come at your client about how after competing, we're fed up. And then I had a after comp meal, and then I was on a plane, and then I arrived at 1 a.m. and then I was at work 4 hours later, and then did an evening workout and then a morning workout. So 5 days was basically weight-wise a write-off. And then to say to me that I had too much weight on and it's taken too long to come down to a good, coming into peak week weight. But I spent the whole first week stressed. So actually I was triggered. I was triggered a little bit like a couple of days ago, a lot. Actually, the workout after that, I don't even know if it was beneficial, but it was done. So I had that on the Friday, and then on the Saturday, I was doing one of my family members a favor, and it just ended up being that I ended up being abused, and I just shut down and I just dropped them off and said, right, and they're like, oh, it's okay if you need to do the shopping. I says, I'm just going to drop you off. And they're like, if that's what you want to do. I says, that's what I want to do. So I had 2 days quite triggered, and thankfully I didn't go off task. I didn't lose my shit. I got home on the Saturday and did everything that I said I was going to do, and then I had a bath and just felt really good and had a good night's sleep. So this morning I have come and instructed. It's not normally my day to instruct, but because of this wild weather, I didn't think many people would show up, and we did only have 2. So I let the usual instructor have the day off, and the stretch was awesome. And then I've stayed and I've done some roping, which is later on in the video, to get my balls off the floor. Because the cleaner, I don't know, they must take the balls out, put their vacuum in, and then put it back in. I'm not sure. Then I had some people, a person a little bit asking me questions about why I'm posting on Facebook of me doing up the gifts from Charlie. Because I want to, because it was nice to get a gift, and they're totally related to me, and I don't get gifts. So it's nice. And I love them, and I want to share. So on my key ring, if you're not on my Facebook, this is one of them. On my key ring now I have a little dumbbell. It's so cute, right? And I have a bigger dumbbell thing that's on my think I put that in last week's vlog, but that's on my sun visor in the car. And then I have like a pencil stand, which is like what you'd put your barbell on at the gym, which is at work, holding pens. Yeah, so that was weird. I've just had some things where I'm like, are you fucking right? Yeah, but you know, I am coming up 50 years old, so my weight, it's not linear, you know. Like sometimes I don't poop for a day or two, and I can be up 2 kilos. If I fly and I didn't take my compression socks, I didn't think about it, it was only Brisbane, I swell, you know. Don't come at me 2 weeks out. Like, don't do that. I wouldn't do that to my clients, and I didn't really appreciate. Like, I love him as a coach. He's taken me very many places and dealt with me and my highs and my lows and stuff like that. So I'm not bagging on him. I'm just like, yeah, I did. I gave it back. Don't worry about that. I gave it back and some. So that's all right. And, you know, I think every relationship has their ups and downs. And when you do have a clash with your coach, you need to consider, like, you know, how are they after you give it back to them? Do they consider that? And I got a lot of love hearts and prayer hands. So, you know, it's okay. It's all good. I think it was a moment. And I did feel like messaging, are you on your period? It's a guy though, you know, and I'm female. I can say that. All right, don't even come at me for anything. Anyway, yeah, so this is 2 weeks and we are on stage again in 13 days. So I fly out in 10 days, and I'm so excited because I'm going to see my cousin Wilson, and I'm going to see my bestest friend Paddy, and I think I have family coming to the show as well, and Paddy is roping in everybody. Actually, I still don't even know if the place has a hair and makeup artist because I haven't heard from anything, anywhere, anyone. I did get my invite to register and I have registered. I did hear back from God. Anyway, there is a comp that is the 3rd of October in Europe that I applied to be able to compete in, and I did not get accepted. They have some very high caliber bikini pros, but I can apply for next year, although I'm planning on taking 2027 off to build and just enjoy being 50. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy being 50. But there's some really, really, really decent highs and lows that I've had this week. And that's what happens. That's, you know, just because I'm prepping for a bikini comp and just because I train really hard and I eat really good, it doesn't mean that I don't get highs and lows, you know? Because of many, many family issues going on, I've even surpassed the 13 days of leave, and now I have to either give a stat dec or a medical certificate to be approved for any time off, even if it's 3 hours. So like, it's been a year. Everything came to me this week. I had an appointment, and you know, it was for myself. I went to see someone just to stay on top of my own mental health. I went to do my leave. You know, they're a psychologist, so they don't do medical certificates. Apparently only psychologists do that. And it said that my leave was rejected. So I was like, what do I do? So I had to go and get a stat dec, which was signed by a chemist that said that I went to an appointment, which, you know, it's an easy enough thing to do. But, you know, my cousin had lost her husband after her daughter also being in hospital for viral encephalitis in a foreign country. And I just needed to talk it out, you know. I needed to talk it out because I really felt for her. She's the second of my cousins that have lost their husbands, and they've both been very, very young and had families. And, you know, it's just nice to be able to talk stuff out. But then to get to work and then my leave be finished, and I was like, fuck. Like, it wasn't the moment, you know. And then it was a couple of days later that coach kind of, you know, sprung his emotions on me. And then the next day, the other family member, and I was just like, just get back off. back the fuck off. But it's life. I still prep. I still get everything done, and life still comes at me. So don't think that all of a sudden we're immune to things that everybody else goes through. No, we just put our goal before that, and we do things to make sure that we can cope. I do my baths, I go to therapy, I am always there for every single family member. My mum is in hospital at the moment. She's been in and out for the last 2-3 months, and I've been visiting her as often as I can. So there's things I don't talk about on here that if you're ever thinking, oh, but it's easy for you, don't ever think that. I have 3 adult children at home. I have no space for myself. I work constantly on businesses and coaching and everything, and I still manage to do the under stuff to make sure that I can still function. So it's not, and I got a bit heavy and deep there, I apologize, but it's not. We have the same life as everybody, as all of you, but we find the time, we find the time to make it work, and you can find the time to make it work too. There's never any excuse for remaining unhappy or remaining in a place or feelings that you don't want to be in. You can make it happen. You just need to sometimes you just need to free up an extra couple of hours in your day. Sometimes you just need to not drink the Coke. There's some simple things that can change your life immensely. And if someone comes at you, you need to speak your mind, or you need to create your barrier, and you need to be firm and strong about it. And that's it. And it doesn't always feel good, but that's life. Anyway, I don't even know what I rambled on about then. There's a lot going on in my head. I need to go and do my 45 minutes cardio, and then I've got the full day of Sunday to relax. Tomorrow is a public holiday. I'm just staying in bed all day, except for my workout. So I need to go, because the next people probably will be wanting to come in here that have hired it, and the rain has stopped. Life is not always easy. It's not always linear. You can still do the things that you want to do. Speak your mind, create your barriers, and get your timetabling smicko, and you will be able to do whatever you want. All right, I need to go. It sounds like there's people coming in here. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Love you guys, and I hope I didn't go too deep there and you were able to follow me. Love yous. Get on in there. Check it out. Mwah. As mentioned, I'm Cass from Get Fit, Get Healthy with Cass, and I really hope you enjoy this week's vlog. So they may have repaired this machine, but this is the one I was going on about for months, and it grabs at every single line on the way up. It's so hard. And obviously I'm taking care of myself. So, these things matter. Right now, though, this day, I had quite swollen ankles. I don't know why. Like, my feet just felt a bit puffy and my ankles felt a bit blech. So in between every single set, I had my feet raised just to get the circulation going, because I didn't have enough time to do anything at home. I think I'd been home maybe 4 days, so the body was still trying to get back to normal and get deflamed, I guess you would say. But yeah, the amount of looks I got was good. I get looked at anyway, and this just made me get looked at even more extra. So every single time I've ever done a lat pull down video, I've been depressed after watching it, because I could never see any lat muscles doing any work, and I didn't have any wings or anything, and I'd look at everybody else's videos and they have all this special muscle going on, and I just had to upload this one because I was pretty damn happy to have some stuff going on. And you know what, when my son watched this, he was like, and that's a decent rack, right? So if your children are referring to racks as the weights rather than a woman's boobs, I applaud you. You're raising your kids right. And it was a nice salt bath, foot bath this time. And it's not a vlog without the cardio and warm-up montage, right? So here we go. And the moments that I bring you like this with a walk with me, they're not the same one. They're different days, and I'm still hearing it just as much. And no, it's not the same black top. I have several. So yes, I do get changed, okay? And yes, you found it. Here is your discount for the monthly coaching session. Okay, so I never claim to be the sharpest tool in the toolbox, and you can join me as I share the fact that I was pretty blunt this morning, and I couldn't work out what was happening, and it took me a minute. And I'm not going to blame prep brain. That was me. It was all me. So enjoy my confusion. Drink bottles. Facebook, right? It's like a heap of big earrings. And don't worry, it got worse than that. Is when I couldn't even figure out the fact that there was just like I could just unclip the key rings. So you watch me while I take my, it really did take me a minute, but I got there. Okay, I got there, and thank you, Charlie. I love these gifts. Oh, and finally, she sees the hook. 13 more days, people. From today, 13 more. I can't say it any better than this. It is absolutely the kind of socializing that I enjoy. This guy wants to eat my bloody sups. Sups? They're not for you. I don't eat anything. It's because the fish oil smells like fish. It's not a fish, socks. Yeah, give them back to me. I'm gonna have to get fresh ones. There's no chance I'm eating those now that he's licked all over them. Even this one wants to be healthy. What a good boy. And then he just lays back like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, of course. So this is spices and herbs on the chicken. And then breakfast in bed, my beautiful rice flour and protein meal that I love so much. Okay, so I turned the volume down on this one because you don't need to hear the plate clanging around and plastic clanging around. So here we go. Come with me as we do breakfast. We start with rice flour or creamy rice, whatever you're purchasing. And make sure your scales is on. Pour your little heart out until your desired grams or pounds or whatever you're weighing in. And then we have the ABC butter, also known as almond, Brazil nut and cashew nut. So if you have peanut allergies, this one is good for you. Spoon it in until you get to your desired weight allowance. And then, of course, the mandatory lick of the spoon. Then we are over to the freezer because it's way too expensive to buy the fresh berries every single day. So really get them frozen. It's so much easier. And we have the blueberries, in we go. Now all year, every year, bulk, shred, whatever it is, I have 50 grams of berries every single time. It doesn't change unless it gets emitted totally, which sometimes happens in peak week. But otherwise, my fats and my rice flour go up and down. So I'm not going to say the grams I'm using of those because they change every single week, pretty much through the year. And then we have our protein. Now, honestly, I do like to use the Isogenics Isopro. It's a nice clean product, but we all know I also love free flights. So at the moment, I think Woolworths had a special on that Musashi, so Musashi it was. But yeah, I'm not committed to any company in particular for protein. If you can save $1, buy it, you know. So in the morning, before I have my coffee or anything, I have a herbal tea that has lots of healing stuff in, and I'm just rotating through different types that are calming and like bring down inflammation. So I just pour my hot water in, pop that to the side, and then into my mix of breakfast I will place the hot water, give it a stir, stir, stir. And then it's a bit more hot water if it's still, because it's going to go in the microwave, so you want it to be a little bit runny but not super, like I don't know how to explain it, but you'll be able to figure it out yourself anyway. You'll either end up with a bowl cake or a nice smooth consistency, and everybody likes their breakfast a different style, a different way, so you'll find your way. So obviously I just needed to add a little bit more so I can make it a bit more doughy. And once you're happy, so I was happy with that kind of consistency, then you take it into the microwave. So I did make it a little bit runnier than usual because I got carried away with the kettle there. So I went for 1.5. Normally I have it a little bit drier and I go for a 1 minute. And you know, food prep. I got 4 meals at work. How many do you take? And then it was going to be a public holiday. Tomorrow is a public holiday, and I prepped. Very first time I am trying a lasagna in the slow cooker. The only thing I had to pre-prep was mixing the tomatoes and the stuff in there and putting an egg into my creamy cheese. Otherwise, this is my signature dish, so I really hope that it tastes very, very good in the end. Not that I'm going to be able to try it, but everybody else can tell me what they think. Hope your Sunday dinner is going to be awesome too. I will show you the end result. And just a few gym shots. This is after cardio, saturated, and this is to show that I pull ugly faces when I'm trying to do the exercises, and that I love the bar. And if you park like this, you're a jerk and you don't deserve to be on the road. I'm sorry, I said it and I mean it. And this is my office. This is a superset and it is brutal. So that superset is the delt raises and the Arnolds, and I otherwise have to walk around the whole gym to get everything all together. So I just drag the bench over and I just have a little setup, and that's my office. And you are welcome to come and say hi if you want to. Anyway, here we go. So this is where I pull the ugly faces in my single leg step up, cable step up, and making sure. So we're bringing the chest down over the knee, and you feel this in your bum line, down your hamstring, and make sure that you flatten the heel down to the ground before you come up. I've found that that is where you really, really hit the money. It's this hasn't been in my program like for ages, and then it was put in during peak week just gone, and I begged Troy to let me have it back in, you know, because I love the feel of your muscles working. It's not always the most pleasant, but when you know, and especially when I know that I need that hamstring glute, I need that area to be more defined, the top there, the ham tie. So bring it. I'm so excited for it, and it's killer. Yep, and I pull ugly faces most of the time. And I don't care. I'm not in the gym to look pretty. I'm in the gym to work out and I look pretty on stage. I hope to look pretty on stage. I hope that there's a makeup artist, and I hope that they're going to do hair. I hope everything is going to go. I'm like just trusting the universe about this NABA stuff, 100%. It's not something that I'm used to doing, and it really is kind of just messing with my head a little bit, but I'm going to trust in it. And I'm not in the gym to look pretty. I'm in the gym to work my ass off so that when I do look pretty, I stand out on stage. So I will stand out on stage because I'm not looking pretty in the gym. Actually, I just normally die like all the way down on the ground, but the camera wasn't going to get me there, so I died on the bench. It wasn't as satisfying, but it'll do. It's yeah, my bum lines are super, super, super how do you do, which is what I want them to be. So, you know, I'm not mad about that. And we still have in, you know, everybody's favorite exercise. Everybody loves these, right? The Bulgarian squats. Now, I have been helping many people get the right position for this. Now, a lot of people, they have their foot in, their ground foot in too close to their body, and then they are standing upright. You can do that. It's very quad dominated to do that. And so I ask them, like, where are you trying to load? And they say they're trying to do their glutes and hammies. And I'm like, okay, so you need to have your foot underneath your knee so that when you do go down, it just goes a little bit kind of like over your toes. You need to have a slight lean. And, you know, half the time they're usually holding like a 7 kg dumbbells in each hand. And then I say, and you're probably going to go down to like a 3 or a 4 to be realistic, to get this move right. So you can just, if you have your foot underneath your knee and you're going down as far as you can, your back foot is flat on the bench. Don't have your toe up. And start with no weight as your warm up, and then go from there. You will thank me for it later. Also, make sure that the bench is around about the same height as your knee when you're standing. You don't want to have your foot up in the air onto the bench, and you don't want to be so tall that your foot is coming down low. You're not going to feel very balanced. That's another thing I've been correcting people for about as well. Okay, that's my advice to you all, okay? I think I'm still doing pretty good for weight on this isolateral leg press. And this does my head in a little bit, right? So you see how they're not coming the same? But actually, the move is coming in the same. I don't know how they've set this up so that the bar is coming like more closer to one side, but literally I am even in the feet coming together, but what I'm looking at is not even. Yeah. And I got my seniors on the big bowls at the Pilates, and my daughter came for a class, which I love, love, love when that happens. So a little while ago, I had all of my big bowls and my foam rollers at a different venue, which I no longer hire. And this morning I had all of my balls on the floor here, and I've been thinking, because the cleaner keeps putting their vacuum in, I was like, how can I just not be, you know, annoying to them? And I had some ropes at home, so I've come in and I've done a little bit of a thing, some ropes, and they could get the vacuum out easily. My balls are not in their way. They only had the vacuum in here, that was it. But I have like a whole nother bag of balls to be able to pump up. And then what I'm going to do, because I have another rope which I have in the car, I'm not going to do it today, is I'm going to go from the side up, so then they can't fall out, and just do it like a knot here, so then I can undo to pop balls out. I think I need to just do like maybe another one across the bottom, and I'll feel like they're definitely not going to come out. But this is me, always thinking, you know, like, how can I improve things? How can I not be annoying to other people? And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. basically this says the old version of you will be fucking proud of who you are today, so keep going. So yes, this is the Airbnb, and my daughter came with me to Creative Bikinis. We had a little bit of a hangout. Yeah, at Creative Bikinis. I'm just getting my purple top altered. As you remember, before I was going for the INBA show in May, we went to put on the bikini top after being filled up, and there was nearly an issue with the top strap. So I'm just getting that made a little bit bigger. So as we fill right up for NABA this month, June 2026, that we have space for the delts to be full, and the strap to still be able to shut. But this is Creative Bikinis, and Claire does an amazing job, and she's in there sorting out my strap right now. So she does alterations as well as off the rack and beautiful creative designs for everybody. So Claire from Creative Designs, she's awesome.
All right, guys, Jason here from Flight Snow Sports. Day one of our grand opening here at 18 Stack Street in Fremantle. Just excited for everyone to come on down, check out the shop. Sorry, what was your name again? Didn't catch that.
I'm Cass.
Cass? So Cass here is doing a lovely promotional video for myself, so thank you, Cass, that's fantastic. But anyone into skiing, snowboarding in the Metro Perth area, come down, have a look, see if I can help you guys out. If there's nothing that I don't have in stock, I'm happy to custom order things in for you guys. And our shop open hours and days are on our website, on our contact page, or check out our socials for pin posts as well. I'm looking forward to seeing you down here, and thanks again, Cass, for the opportunity. Cheers.
No worries. So what was it? Flight Snow Sports?
Flight Snow Sports.
He's just helped Miss CJ here get herself ready for her snow trip. So getting our board service as well. We'll be back in a couple of days. So if you're in Perth, this is where you're going to come. Yeah, so just a little tour around his shop. He's got the boots, the things you put onto the board. He's got boards, thermals, all different types. And CJ's trying on some gloves and some goggles and a helmet, and he's got clothes. So literally this was his grand opening, and we were so glad we found him. So yeah, because you stayed this long, I have a special treat. These lines. The moment you look at yourself in the mirror and go, holy shit, which is what I did, you know you're on it. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I really hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I love yous.